What's up, everyone? Good morning. It's your host, Carlos Ponce here, and this is another live episode of Advancio Talks. And if you're just discovering us, welcome to the show. But if you've been here since the beginning, well, you know what we are about. So, Advancio Talks is where we sit down with the people actually building the future of business and technology. Not just talking about it, but doing it. CTOs, founders, principals, CEOs, the folks making decisions that matter. So, whether you're drinking coffee, commuting, or just curious about what's actually happening in technology and business, stick around because today we've got Karim Dernit, the CEO of Advancio Talks. I'm sorry, of Advancio. Sorry, Karim. Just get carried away. The CEO of Advancio with us today. So Karim has got stories and insights you won't hear anywhere else. So let's jump right in. Welcome to the show, Karim. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Carlos. Been a big fan of the show for a while and happy to be here.
Great, absolutely, Karim. We're looking forward to this conversation. So I usually start with asking my guests about themselves. So tell us a little bit about you. For those who don't know you yet, tell us a little bit about you. Who is Karim, and what's your background, your story, anything you want to share with the audience?
Um, I guess I'm a big nerd. I'm a software engineer by trade. Started my career many years ago. Funny, my first software job was in the insurance industry,
Mhm.
and then from that point on, just grew that knowledge. And a few years later, I started my own company, Advancio, as you know it today,
Mhm.
as a consulting company that specializes in insurance. And then from that point on, we developed this product company, and now with collaborators around the world, just happy to be doing the things that I love every day. Oh, and
Awesome.
I forgot, I'm a big soccer fan. So after the
Soccer.
World Cup, I've
Oh,
had my cup of tea is full after the World Cup, so I'm good.
no wonder I couldn't get a hold of you during the last World Cup. I couldn't have gone on. Where's Karim? Oh, he's watching soccer. Okay.
I did go to a few games. That's correct.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Lucky you. I mean, but I wasn't able to attend, but watched a few games. And okay, let's continue. So that's a little bit of you. Now, tell us a little about the company that you preside. So tell us about Advancio. What is Advancio? When was it created? What was the genesis? So tell us a little bit about the company, please.
Sure. So I throughout my career in insurance, I ended up running the tech department at a major California insurance company that we later sold to a Fortune 500. And I was at a crossroad there. Do I go and get another corporate job, or do I venture into the entrepreneurial world?
Hmm.
Um, as a head of technology, I noticed there was a lot of gaps that needed filling, especially for tier two and tier three insurance carriers that could not afford the big four to come and
Hmm.
help them with their IT strategy. And then I saw the gap and decided to kind of just hop on Advancio full time, providing software development services primarily to insurance, which we did such a good job that we started getting referred to other industries. So we've done a very good job expanding into the financial industry, the logistics industry. Um, but the start has always been insurance. So we like to say everybody at Advancio must speak insurance at a certain point.
Excellent. So what I'm hearing is that you kind of honed in into the insurance and the fintech world, right? That's as of recently, and you moved from a previous business model, which I believe was similar to staff augmentation. Am I correct?
Well, so that's a good question. As any technology consulting company, you do such
Mhm.
a good job that your clients want to keep some of your resources on board.
Mhm.
So we started as a consulting company, and then we started a staff augmentation division where,
Mhm.
in a nutshell, the difference between Advancio and the other companies 15 years ago when we started is that not only we knew insurance, but most of our resources were nearshore. or in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And companies our size that understood insurance back then had a lot of people in the other side of the world, which made communication with the clients very difficult. So we provided a very, very high value added by providing nearshore resources during the implementation size of the project, that the clients were saying, well, you know what? I do have a team of engineers. I want to expand it. I like the nearshore model. Why don't you guys provide us with some engineers from Mexico? And then our nearshore staffing division started. We don't do all kind of staffing, just software engineering.
Mm-hmm. Software, okay.
Development, QA, data analysis, AI now. So we still have that. That is actually the part that got us into other companies, which is logistics and finance and banking and all that. So we had two main divisions, the one which is consulting and project delivery, and then another one which was staff augmentation, nearshore staff augmentation. And the latest division that was added is our products division. So now Advancio offers products, insurance-driven products. We call them accelerators. And that's just the next wave of evolution in our company.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for elaborating on Advancio. Now, what I am looking forward today is talking about the topic that we chose for today's conversation, right? And today we are going to be covering the topic of AI hype to insurance impact. In other words, it's not about chatbots, right? It's about rebuilding how insurance actually works. Correct. So this is a very interesting topic, and especially for the layman, like such as myself, in terms of insurance. And I look forward to learning more about this exciting and fascinating space in which we all are. I mean, I have insurance. I have life insurance. I have health insurance. So I look forward to learning what's going on in the insurance world from the layman, from the user's perspective, and also from the technology side of the equation. So, Karim, let's start with this. I have a first question that I have for you regarding this. So, tell us, what has changed in insurance technology and distribution, let's say over the last several years, and what have we seen accelerate recently?
Yeah, so insurance technology in general, it's funny, up to the early 2000s was very, very, very paper dependent and very presence dependent. Maybe fax was the highest technology you could get back then. And then the internet started, and then you started seeing all kind of technology come out that is internet based, right? One like policy submission via the internet. That was the first one that we saw, what you could call the modern technology using the advance of the internet. So besides the fact that insurance is traditionally a risk-averse industry because they are under risk, insurance is not very quick on jumping on the latest trends. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So the very first advances that we've seen in insurance has been in distribution, because the clients became more savvy. They wanted to have the same purchasing experience they have with other industries, right? So clients now wanted to start buying online. And then you started seeing all kind of these online comparison raters and digital rating, binding online. So far, that's kind of been the most technologically advanced the consumer could see about the insurance industry. At the same time, there's been a major digital transformation happening in the backside, which is a lot of companies that were running their policy management systems on archaic mainframes have found themselves obligated to move away for a few major reasons. Number one, the world was moving, internet needed data, and mainframes are not really good at communicating data. So they had to kind of, they have to actually shift their technology stack a little bit higher to more data friendly software. But also the generation of software engineers that built that mainframe was getting older and hitting retirement age, and it became more and more difficult and expensive to maintain those systems. So that's why you'd see all these insurance companies running these major multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars transformational projects to put in new digital systems in place to manage their policies and claims and billing. So that's kind of been the story of insurance technology. It's what everybody sees is the distribution. All those online ads, buy online. But it goes deeper than that, where behind the scene, there's been a lot of technological shift in all of the insurance companies around in the country, at least.
Great. So would you say, is it safe to say that the first revolution was about making insurance easier to buy? I think that's a great takeaway from what I'm hearing.
Certainly. As far as people, the general public sees, that was the first wave. Now, when there was another wave behind the scene, when back in the 90s, when you used to go and buy an insurance company, they used to kind of take your application and fax it in, right? And then when the internet came up, they started having the agents where you went to buy the insurance from. They had little internet utilities where they can actually submit that application now through the internet, not through fax. Mm-hmm. So insurance started that way, modernizing. But to the general public, the likes of Esurance and, and the Zebra and the Lemonade, for example. Lemonade really made things a little different. They made it easy to buy, but it is actually a product that you buy directly from the carrier, as opposed to the others that were mainly comparative raters, mainly lead generators, not necessarily buy direct from the carrier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great, Karim. So now I would like to move on to what I consider to be next. So where's the industry going? For example, if distribution was the first wave, what's the next major insurance technology opportunity? What would you say the next opportunity is?
Well, it's a good question. Distribution. So there's two kinds of distribution. There is personal insurance and there's commercial insurance, and then and then workers' comp and life and health. The distribution that we all know about has mainly been the personal insurance distribution that's been in the forefront. I would say, especially auto and home and rent, or like things that you the consumer uses day to day. That's been, I think it's pretty advanced distribution from that side. Distribution on the commercial side, however, it's still lagging behind as far as self-serve is concerned. And the reason for that is because it's more complicated. Underwriting is more complicated. Claims are, well, let's talk about distribution. Underwriting is more complicated. The data points that need to be gathered are a little bit more complicated. It takes a while to get a commercial submission together because of all the document you need to make it work. Then, on personal auto, we just need a driver's license, your address, and people living in your house, and your VIN number, like basic information that you have at hand, right? So I think the next wave is really going to be in the B2B side of insurance, commercial insurance particularly, in the how can we reduce cycle time from submission to binding. On the claims side, how can we close claims faster? How can we reduce claims leakage? So I think a lot of that is going to fall in that. Now, if we're going to talk about AI makes a lot of that a lot more easier and doable. One thing that has always been there as far as AI is concerned, I would say some of the people in insurance that have been very in the forefront of what you call today AI is actuarials and product building. They've always been using statistical analysis and data models to kind of come up with rates for insurance. So that's always been there. I think the next wave in that is going to be the speed by which they're able to adjust and they're able to change the programs, and the speed by which they're able to detect leakage in the program. I think that's what AI is going to bring to the forefront. But if we just talk about technology in general, what side of insurance need more technology, it's definitely the base, so the backside of insurance.
Right. So the underwriters, I guess they can sleep tight because they're not going to be replaced, right? So they're just going to be, the AI is going to be increasing their capacity, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're talking about underwriters and AI, I mean, underwriters receive a lot of data, an enormous amount of information, and most of it is unstructured. I would say 80% of that data is unstructured, which means they have to manually go file by file and read and try to find where the data point they're looking for is. So a lot of that in the underwriter's time is used in non-critical tasks. So they're just spending time going through file pages and all that. AI gives us the opportunity to kind of speed up all that process. So we can ingest a huge amount of data that is unstructured, find the data we need, structure it. We can actually summarize the risk. We can flag exceptions. And at that point, the underwriter's job is to validate. You still want a human in the loop, even with AI. But what you want to do is take the mundane tasks of the underwriting process, give them to AI, and have the human validate and confirm and decide what actions they want to take next. Now, doesn't mean that AI can't do that. It means that AI should not do that. AI is good at flagging. It can even suggest the next steps or next actions to be taken, but really up to the user to decide whether that's done or not.
Gotcha. Great. I was listening to you, and I had another question that popped up. So I was thinking of, you mentioned a few of them, but there are other companies, that you mentioned. So I'm kind of curious, from where you're standing, what would you say that other established insurance technology companies are doing? So what are the established insurance technology companies, what are they doing right now?
Yeah, so obviously everybody is talking about AI, and everybody's moving towards AI. Everybody's incorporating AI one way or another into their product, whether it's a policy system or claim system or a dispatch, anything that uses all systems around the insurance ecosystem are right now, all Insurtechs are trying to find a way to incorporate AI. Policy management systems, I know, for example, Guidewire is putting AI in pretty much all the insurance workflows. They're really trying to kind of get data and automation, like to summarize submissions, for example, and flag risk signals at the very core of the system itself, right? And then there is other companies that are what we call bolt-on companies. You'll see a lot of startups right now in the insurance and Insurtech world that have built product around that bolt-on to existing policy and billing and claim system, and provide added AI capabilities to the existing workflows. And then, so I think there's the established tech companies that are doing it, but also there's a lot of incumbents that are just solving pieces of the problems within the insurance workflow.
Gotcha. What is the role of agentic AI in the case of insurance operations, for example?
Use cases?
Yes, or use cases of agentic AI in insurance, for insurance operations, for example, including underwriting and claims, for example.
Yeah. So like, it's funny. Like, so some shameless plug. Agent AI. How can AI help underwriters and submissions? So the example I gave earlier, right? A workers' comp policy submission goes through a lot of data. You got to upload, I don't know, tens, hundreds of pages of different things about the company, the employees, the payroll. Somebody has to go through all that and sift through it and underwrite it. AI, basically what it does, it goes through all that information and just summarizes it and tells the underwriter exactly where they need to look, where the exception is happening or where the red flag is happening. Similar thing could be said about claims. When a claim comes in, let's just say in property and casualty, a claim comes in, it's an auto claim. Well, AI is able to detect a lot of the anomalies that are within that submission, and it can go even further and detect anomalies within the data set of the carrier itself. For example, accident happens at a certain intersection. Accidents that happen at a certain intersection within 2 miles of body shop ABC somehow always end up at body shop ABC. So is that the only body shop in an area? No. So how come? Again, AI can flag those really fast and detect, hey, you know what? This could be subject for fraud. Let's investigate it more. So those are the things that you see right now, really the kind of use cases that AI is used for in the insurance industry. And then there's many, many more.
Gotcha. Insurance. So I'm thinking, well, you're telling us about what Advancio is doing and what other players in the industry are doing. So my question is this: with all this disruption happening, what would you say that Advancio is doing right now to prepare for and participate in this next new wave?
And so, as a company that's been working in insurance as a company for 15 years, the last 15 years, we've seen a big shift in the way companies look at AI. So the insurance industry there's a lot of lines of business. There's different size carriers with different budgets. Most of the tier one large carriers have their R&D labs. That's besides their VC funds. This is their ventures. This is just their lab where they do R&D on products that they can use internally. Many of them spend millions of dollars, and a lot of that spend is going in how AI can help us and help our bottom line. What we see in the insurance industry is that there is different tiers of carriers, tier 2, 3, and 4, that don't have those budgets, that want AI, but they do not have they don't know how to go about discovering it because they don't even know what it can be used for. And so what we saw at Advancio is, because we understand the insurance industry, we understand the problems of insurance, we decided we're going to be that lab for those insurance companies. We are going to talk to many of our clients and industry leaders, and we're going to address the major pain points that these industries are facing, and we're going to put products out there to solve them. We call them accelerators because these products that we're building, they're built to not rip and replace their current systems. We are building products to be a bolt-on to their existing systems, which means a lot less implementation cost and a lot less implementation time to put the products in production. Products like I mentioned earlier, an AI powered submission engine. Now, I don't like to say AI anymore, and I'll get into why in a minute. We just call it a smart submission engine for now, but which will take policy intakes and do all that use case that I talked about earlier of going through all the application, the supporting documents, making it easy for the underwriter to kind of get to the underwriting part of doing the work, not just the finding and discovery phase. which makes it easier for claims folks to actually detect claim early, close claims faster, based on the trends that we're seeing in the policy. That makes it easier for carriers to sell directly to consumer by making the journey a lot more friendly using AI assistance along the way. So all those things we're using AI products, and we're showing them to our current clients and the different carriers in the insurance industry. Where as an accelerator, well, here it is, it works. You don't have to replace your whole systems. We can just come in and deploy it, and you don't have to tell us how you want AI to be used, because we know your problem and we built it, it's working, and this is how you put it in. Now, why I don't like to use AI, I don't like to say AI underwriter and AI FNOL, or first report of injury, because the way we see AI here at Advancio is it's a tool. It's not going to replace people, but it is going to make their life a lot easier. So AI is not going to replace an underwriter, but underwriting will never be the same. So what we look at AI is, if it's just a tool, then maybe we should stop highlighting it. We should start using it to our feature, because tomorrow there's going to be another tool and it's going to be another hype. So our goal is to remove the hype and just provide results. And that's what we've done. And that's what thankfully has been successful over the last few months.
Great. So this is very exceedingly interesting, and I'm definitely learning a lot. Now I understand a lot of things about insurance myself, but unfortunately, we're all good things must come to an end, and this is no exception. So we're approaching the final segment of today's conversation. But I don't want to end it, Karim, without touching on one closing thought, if you will. So they say that the last Insurtech revolution changed the front end of insurance. Is this correct? And how so?
Yeah, from a consumer point of view, yes. A lot of the insurance products have become commoditized, where anybody can go buy them online by themselves without a lot of consulting or advice from a traditionally that was provided by an insurance broker or agent. So yeah, the front has been the most prominent and visible side of insurance distribution. I think the back is about to become that as well. The future, I can't tell what the future is, but I do see a future where agents are communicating with each other and flagging humans about what needs to be done. I do see a future where integration is done a lot more tightly between non-insurance systems and insurance systems, like an HR system that is just hooked into your health insurance provider, and it gives you a rate right there and then, and you don't need to kind of go through anybody to buy your insurance policy, and you don't have to wait for open enrollment period and stuff like that. I think we could get to a world where insurance is more streamlined within the whatever other business workflow requires it. So yeah, I think we could get there, but it's gonna take a while before we're there.
Right.
And until then, we gotta support. It's step by step, right? So without a digital transformation in the back that enables the policy management systems to take data from third parties, buying insurance online wouldn't have been possible. So I think it's just a matter of time before technology gets us there. Until then, our job is, how can we better leverage the current technological advances to solve the current problems in the different workflows and processes.
Definitely. So, Karim, we need to wrap up today's episode, but Do you have any final words of wisdom for the audience? Like anything you want to leave the audience with to remember you by, based on today's conversation about AI and insurance and technology?
About AI. Well, AI, yeah, like I said earlier, AI is not going to replace anybody. It's just going to make them work faster. Word of wisdom, I would say AI is a great assistant. It's very good at a lot of things. Let's just try to keep it as our thought partner, not a decision maker. We should still be spearheading the thought process. We should still be dreaming and setting up visions for whatever it is that we're planning on doing. And AI can do a great job assisting us and being a partner during the journey, but we should not outsource the thinking and the decision making to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. In closing, I just remembered a phrase by an author that I like a lot. He passed away many years ago. His name is Alan Watts, and I heard that he's something about he used a phrase that could also apply to AI from my standpoint, which is what is it? He was talking about something, and he said it is a good servant but a bad master, something along those lines. And I think that
I can say that.
Yeah. So, well, Karim, thank you so much for having been with us on the show today. Please stick around as we go off the air. And for those of you who are watching or will be watching in the future, please just remember, mark your calendars for every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for more Advancio Talks conversations with those actually making things happen. So again, thank you so much. And thank you, Karim. The rest of you guys,
thank you.
See you next time.